All right, let's get it going. Hey, what's going on, party people? Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a great pleasure having you guys in. I go by the name of Lace Splee. I am a spiritual healer. And essentially, what I do as a spiritual healer, as you will see, or as you have seen in the title here, I pretty much as a spiritual healer, I help you to bring out the artist in you. When we're talking about the one, to help you to attain that highest level of consciousness, but which is also another way of saying, for you to become awakened. And that awakening, that person of yours, my God, that's the artist. That's the genius in you, man. That's what the Christ consciousness is all about. That's what Krishna like is, Buddha like is. So essentially, I guess I'm saying in so many words, to be Christ-like, Buddha-like, Krishna-like, that simply means it's awakening that genius in you. Then you get to see your true potentials. This is when now you know what you were born to do. Ah man, I'm with the bullshit already. So you already know. If this is your first time listening, man, at any given time, without even giving you any proper warnings, there's times where I get into certain pockets. And to be honest with you too, man, the kind of artist that I am, I paint the picture for the heavens. So I have a lot of admirers in certain secluded spaces. Very important people. I mean, you have to, man. Come on, man. It's in you. Man? You gotta love it. You have to love it. Do you see what I'm saying? In other words, too, as a spiritual healer, I help you to become illuminated, to be the true Illuminati. Where now, you're shining. Your own light is radiating out here, man. That's what being a true Illuminati is. People get to see the beauty through your brightness. Do you see what I'm saying? Then now at this point, you become a witness. A fucking Jehovah Witness. Man? So now you don't even have to tell them that you are a witness. They know it. This is the type of shit that I do, man. I mean, for me, if you're asking me, man, I feel like I'm the coolest dude ever. You know what I'm saying? I'm the badass of the badasses, like ever, dog. And a job like this, man, it's a privilege. First of all, for even me, to become who I am. That in itself, man. Listen, everything else, like this is, man, this is on the house. Listen, this is me giving back, literally. And this is where you already got your reward, man, and that's self-sufficient, like the true. Oh man, I'm bought, sold, and bought. Like I'm good. And I'm not saying selling my soul, motherfucker. My soul is sold through the divine, man. But see, the thing is, you're gonna have to sell your soul either way. And if you don't know that, I know you haven't sold your soul to the divine, man. When you say people selling their soul to the devil, listen. And even you who's saying that your soul is sold to the devil. When I hear Christian talking about, let's just say, in the music industry, but yet again, your so-called God, it's money, nigga. You're praying God, for money. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the truth is, I don't know, some of you niggas might even be a little bit envious and jealous of these niggas. Do you see what I'm saying? Because there's no way If your God is that good, for you to be fucking paying attention to some other motherfucker who ain't doing well, per what you say. And I'm just repeating what you're saying. But anyway, man, I'm not even gonna go in that pocket, man. But you know, when you hear like certain bullshit, you're like, okay, them niggas. Those are them niggas. You know, they sound cute. They're using all the big words, but it's nothing coming out of their mouth, man. They're giving you book references too. You would swear they know what they're talking about, but have no clue. You know, they just repeat shit. But anyway, going back to the whole you being an artist, that's what we're here to talk about, man. That is your Christ consciousness. This is you activating your own individuality. But yet, as you do so, you stay connected to the universe. That's the relationship of the Father and the Son. This is when you say you're a God, you're not saying it, you know, to somehow downgrade the universe or the bigger God. I only say that as when I acknowledge how big the universe is and the part that I play in it. I think y'all got it all fucked up. When I say I am God, I'm truly acknowledging God for what God is. That means I would have to see myself past dick and pussy, which I have. Well, fortunately for me. How you doing? I mean, I think I'm doing well, if you're asking me. But the bottom line, though, it comes from a source of acknowledgement, or I should say, of greater acknowledgement, because I became more aware. Isn't that what consciousness is all about? Do you see what I'm saying? So a lot of you claim to know God, you're using references, but you don't know God. Because to know Him, you would have to live it out. You have to act it out in your life. How practical is it to you? God is very practical to me, bro. This is why I bear the fruit of the Spirit. Joy, happiness, and all that shit. Because I discovered that shit in me. Not just that, because I'm also looking at myself from a spirit perspective. Energetic perspective. Christ perspective. You choose Krishna, Buddha, wake up. Again, perspective. How are you looking at it? This is really what it comes down to, man. It's how you're looking at it, man. What you're so-called strong or weak, it's just a matter of perspective. You know, if you struggling in sin, that's because of your perspective. Because you're sinful, you got a sinful thoughts. So therefore, how you would never, you're not even worthy of even to be part of this conversation. You're not even as perfect as God, your Father, is. You're not of this royal hair. That's how it goes, man. And that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you trying to approach this from the back door. I'm walking in the door, nigga. My name's on the list. Shit, I am the house, nigga. Do you see what I'm saying? So anyway, all of that pertaining to you. Because ultimately, regardless of how you process this, at the end of the day, it's going to be you all the way. And that goes for everybody. If I chose to worship whoever I choose to worship, and if you somehow knew a little bit better than me and you choose to worship God, guess what? You all the way. Do you see, you know, like regardless on how you want to dissect all of this, you cannot remove yourself from it. you might as well embrace it. And that embracing, this is where your artistic or your artist side is being born. It's taking place. But anyway, if this is your first time, I apologize. I was being a little bit rude, but I was a little bit emotional today. I didn't mean to be rude. I was very emotional. Meaning I just went right into it. But then again, at times, desperate times call for desperate measures. I was in my feelings. But anyway, allow me to reintroduce myself, right? Being l'esprit, spiritual healer. So essentially, but you know what? I was just being too much too, because this is all part of it. In other words, it's all part of what I help you to become. So, I was right on point. It's just a lot to say. I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you. You're not lost, but shit, what can I say, man? But anyway, so now how the way that I go about helping you now to develop your artistical traits, or knowing who you are, or even for you to attain your highest level of consciousness, or becoming aware of yourself, or even to bring out that genius in you. Because all of that shit, becoming the illuminated ones, the bright ones, all of that, the one with the halo, all of that shit, the shiny ones, the bright ones, you have to be awakened. But for you to attain that highest level of consciousness, or that higher state of clarity, you would have to be in alignment with you. You got to be in harmony with yourself. And what I'm referring to is that you got to be mentally and emotionally balanced. Both sides have to be balanced. In other words, they have to become one. Not only that each one of them has to be balanced, then they have to become one. But they can only become one when both of them are balanced. For instance, when I'm talking about being emotionally balanced, what I'm really referring to, we all know someone who's not being emotionally balanced. Those, for the most cases, are the people who are being triggered. Right? Meaning, they're not conscious of their actual reaction. So their action and their conscious mind and their subconscious mind are not in harmony. That's what that is. In so many words. But I have already talked about that. Check out I can't recall the name of that recording, but I already talked about it. So technically, all of your actions comes from your subconscious mind. Then now the conscious mind, what you're doing is it's new information, it's processing new information. That's why you may have knowledge. That's why you see someone who may speak about something and they sound like they know what they're doing. But then when it comes down to actually executing their own shit, that's what you see with a lot of your, let's just say, coach, your dating coach. In other words, they sound very good, but they don't know they don't understand what the fuck they talking about. That's why you will also see sometimes even a nigga who's a relationship coach and don't even have a bitch. But this is also where you have to be careful too. This is where you have to understand the difference between knowledge and wisdom. Like for me, I can always tell when someone doesn't have any wisdom when they're speaking. Because everything they're gonna say is gonna be logical. There's gonna be a lack of emotion in what they're saying. In other words, their perspective is only gonna be on one side. You see, when people are telling you this is how men are, or let's just say but you see a lot of these relationship coach, they have a one-sided perspective. It's either the men or the fucking women. It's never about both sides coming together. They are expert at telling you what the difference is, but not how to put the two together. That's different. Because when you understand how the two has to come together, then you don't criticize one over the other. Then you understand there has to be a mutual connection. Then their approach should have been more about understanding women, or if you're a woman, understanding men. Otherwise, what you have is the battle between the sexes. That's what's taking place. And in their art of war, there's no true understanding, because they're whatever the fuck they're saying is always gonna be one-sided. I mean, in so many words, I give you the essence of these fuckers too. So that could be in itself a little hard to digest. But then again, listen, man. With crème de la crème, baby. We got the crème de la crème over here, baby. If it ain't that, I don't want it. Bring it back, take it back to the kitchen, baby. But anyway, being emotionally balanced has to do with you understanding your own emotions. So if you were to react a certain way, then you understand where that reaction is coming from. Automatically, it would allow you to catch it as it's taking place. So you may be able to pull yourself out. So in other words, the more connected you become to understanding, your emotional patterns, then now you have the ability to transmute it. Just like now you're able to notice it, then you can change it if you notice it. Then you have greater conviction on how to work this thing out. This is why if you don't master your monsters will be your master. That's how it goes. There's no other way around, man. No other way around, man. So either you painting the picture or the picture's being painted. Either way, it's still going to be from you. This is why when you attain that Christ consciousness, there's a level of, man, you become part of as this thing is playing out, you become part of the creation. As the Father is creating, then you at the same time become part of the creation. I'm getting way ahead of myself here. But anyway, man, it was for the heavens. Thank you. This is also for the great listeners too. Again, going back to you being the artist. That's the genius you need to bring out of you. That's that enlightened one that needs to come out of you. The shiny one. And that's that consciousness. That's your genius. That's your Christ-like. That's what you need to awaken in you. And that is ironically also the artist side of you. Then you understand everybody's a fucking artist. Because you are the one performing your own life. There's a know-how. This is where spirituality comes in. A savoir-faire. This is where a nigga like me is giving you your fucking I'm giving you your fucking medicine. Man. Get your medication. This is why you have to nourish your soul or water your garden, however you choose to say it. You gotta nourish yourself, man. That's the self-nourishment food that when you come to understand that about you, then you understand your life cannot be off just for dick and pussy. And guess what happens? The minute you realize that, you automatically become someone else. your perspective at this point, you're already standing on your good foot, which is now is going to be your integrity. When you acknowledge that spirit side of you, that is now you'll be bearing the fruit of the spirit. This is where your integrity will come in. Joy, compassion, mastering the men within, that artist in you. Jesus Christ. I mean, shit. But all of that has to become materialized into your life. This is where the changes, the transformation has to take place. This is the door that I can only show you. You're going to have to walk through. That transformation. That's what becoming Christ-like is. And me being a spiritual healer, this is what I'm telling you. But now, to get yourself activated, you have to understand your emotions. That's what becoming emotionally balanced is. It's not, you see how motherfuckers saying to be poised, not to use profanity or somehow maintain control. All that shit's bullshit. You choose to react how, like for me, the more conscious I became, I mean, of course, I do choose my fights. You know, but when I come out and start talking my shit, nigga, you don't matter. This is me speaking in the name of the truth, in the name of my spirit. When I let niggas know, nigga, this is how it is. You think you got me, you never had me, nigga. You never knew who I was, you thought you knew. Because if you did, you wouldn't be in this position. That means you got me all the way fucked up. That's just me talking my shit. Got nothing to do with you. Obviously. Because you got it all the way fucked up. So what would that have to do with you then? It's like you're not even in my playing field. You see what I'm saying? That's why for you to make me look like you have to throw dirt on me. But guess what? Even if you take a lamp, put it underneath a table, you're still gonna see the brightness, baby. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's why I try to tell these fuckers, man. You could never fuck with me, ever. Not even for, like, jokingly. I mean, you can't even play with me. So think about even you trying to do something to me. That's why none of your shit worked, man. But you so... it's okay. It's okay, though. But anyway, going back to, okay, there's a whole lot going on here, guys. I'm on my bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And that was me being emotionally in control. Trust me. You know, I got emotional as we were speaking of being emotionally balanced, nigga. You know, and in so many words, that's what healing is too. By you being in touch with your feelings, you heal yourself. I'm a spiritual healer, I'm telling you. Now, how you choose to express, listen, man, once you know your healing is personal to you. That's why being emotionally balanced, it's not about a validation to somebody else. In fact, when you're not emotionally balanced, that's those validation, being poised. You know, that's you trying to throw somebody else's off. This is you putting on a mask to let other people know, I got this. And that's what you see in the most part with the people who are doing debates, who's speaking to, you know what I'm saying, they go low, you go high. Who gives a fuck? They could go however high, however low they want. I'm going to go when I want to go and where I want to go, motherfucker. Now, that's emotionally balanced for me. Fuck. The fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not even in my picture. You're not even part of this. Because I'm the artist. But anyway, that's pretty much the underlying understanding. Because I wanted to paint a picture for you to see what being emotionally, balance is. And what it's not too. Definitely what it's not. This is why there's nothing wrong in expressing how you feel, how you truly feel, man. In fact, that's exactly what it is. But and also at the same time, you know when not, or to who not to do it to. That's what choosing your battles is. You see what I'm saying? And at that point, even when you respond to somebody, you got a greater point to make. You're making a statement at this point. Like, I make statements. I speak with authority, nigga. The fuck? But anyway, I just got emotional. Now being mentally balanced. Well, guess what? Let's activate that side of us too. It's the same baseline understanding. It has nothing to do with saying big words or not using profanity. Somehow you expressing, successfully expressing yourself. All that shit is political bullshit, bro. It's all of it's bullshit. And to be honest, sometimes to fully express yourself, words may not be enough. That's why us, the true masters, we understand the power of words. Like, for me at times, for me to truly express myself, do you know what I do? I use parables, nigga. Because now I could get to tell you what I'm fully saying to you without saying it. You see, whenever you hear what's understood doesn't have to be explained, that's when you got it. It was expressed to you the way it was supposed to, nigga. Oh, the talk's gonna be different. Shit. Not the bullshit intellectual masturbation, which has no self-expression truly, but a generic expression. Or to appease or to a certain way. You see what I'm saying? It's to truly understand your mind and how it works. It's not to repeat shit to sound like you know what you're saying when you're truly repeating, or you're repeating what was told for you to say. That's not being mentally balanced at all. You're just being a fucking puppet. Now, to be mentally balanced is true freedom of thought, true freedom of mind. But that requires for you to understand what's in front of you by going beyond oh my God. Anyway, I guess let's take it one step at a time here, because this shit is very complex. But, nigga, I got you. Don't worry about it. We're going to simplify this shit for you. Right? That's why it's important for you to understand your culture. Your culture is automatically telling you how to think. Us American over here, this is what we do. Us American, this is how we did. This is how we, you know what I'm saying? It's more than just what you eat. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I always tell you guys this perfect example. It's like, we identify marriage. This is a cultural shit. Marriage as a successful relationship. Meanwhile, there's a bunch of people who got married and they're not happy. I mean, shit, you can get married for any reason, nigga. There's all types of reasons. for money, for green cards, for all kinds of shit. That shit got nothing to do with fucking love, bro. And I'm not even going to that, you know what I'm saying? So to talk about marriage as a way to justify a good relationship, it's like, what? What? When you clearly see the legality, that's what makes it a contract. You got a house, this is, yes, split that shit in half, nigga. It's legality. How does that turn into a good relationship? What that has to do with nothing? Like what love got to do with this? But a lot of times you don't even get to even think about it that way. You know why? Because the culture is already training you how to think. Same shit happened to you in school, the country. That's why you have to be aware of all these things. Not for you to become this this revolutionary motherfucker, but for the sake of yourself. You do it for the sake of you. And for me, I'm saying it for educational purposes. And I mean that shit. Because there's no other reason why. It's truly that. Anything else is distraction, bro. It's distraction. Again, perspective. How are you looking at it? I'm just offering a different perspective. That's all. Or a deeper understanding. However you choose to look at it. But that also has to do with how open you are too. If you're not that open, and of course this would be, you know, it wouldn't taste too good in your palate because you're not ready for it. And I understand that. This is why this conversation is not for everybody. You know, there's levels in this. I know for me, it took time for me to even speak in this manner. Meaning I had to understand it myself, live it myself, experiencing it myself. This is why, like I always tell you guys, man, unfortunately, some of us who only got a clue, not fully knowing how the whole things work yet, but you just got a clue. And then you became a Christian. You haven't fully developed yet. Nor did you allow yourself to develop. That's why the ones who are seeking for self-development, you go through Christianity, but you kept going. And as you're doing so, you are developing your inner strength, your inner being. Then at this point, you know, the Bible wouldn't be as scary as it would be to somebody who doesn't have the understanding that you have. But that has to do with your development. Oh, I'm talking to your soul, nigga. I speak to subconscious mind, nigga. Shit. I mean, that's why being a serious. I mean, I don't keep that for myself. Talk too much. Come on, man. So to be mentally balanced, you have to understand these things. That's what this shit is all about. You know, then you understand, you know, the whole political aspect of life. Like, and then even from history alone, you know that shit is bogus. You know it, I know it. You know what I'm saying? So whoever get to write history, whoever, so to speak, you know what I'm saying, like you learning history through their eyes. You know what I'm saying? Who tells you voodoo is bad? What do you even know about it? Besides what they tell you. Or show you, same shit. Or showing you is even better. But without the understanding of what you're saying, it means nothing. I could be doing the same thing that you're doing, but the perspective is different. Our goal is different. Here we are, I could be standing right next to you, sharing the space and time. And yet we're looking at life from total strangers. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what you see in a lot of relationships too. You have two strangers living together. Or when you have two people who wear a mask. So now when they married together, they know how to wear that mask together better. That's what you see with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. So when these niggas are telling you like true shit, like, you know what I'm saying? How the fuck did they say that shit? To bad marriages? I can't recall the shit. Whatever bullshit they fucking said. I'm trying to tell you there's a lot of truth to it. In other words, I'm telling you these niggas are not lying. They're actually telling you the truth. Like, believe it or not, when this nigga said to death do us part, you know, this nigga is living up to his fucking what's the vial? Like, how the fuck do you say that shit, man? I can't recall. It's somewhere in my mind here. I mean, to his words or whatever his vow was, to his vows, whatever his vow was. I accept Jada Pinkett. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're seeing. You want to tell him how you cheated? And all that shit. So to be honest, man, that's what marriage truly, that's what this nigga's about. I'm gonna call him crazy. Now, if you calling him crazy, I'd like to know why. Because I would say the same shit too. Because that's not marriage to me, but I understand where he's coming from. Do you actually see it from that perspective? Or you just criticizing him? Come on, man. Come on now. Be honest with yourself. Be true to you. So again, it all comes down to, this is the intellectual part of it. The mental aspect. Now, that's what that pretty much entails. You have to understand how your mind works, how it's being shaped. The society, how, I mean, come on, those are all relationships that is shaping you a certain way. You know, we all raised in a society that's teaching you how to be average. Teaching you, you know what I'm saying, about your net worth instead of your self-esteem. That's why it is competitive out there. You keeping up with the Joneses. Of course you have to. Because your sense of identity is reflected on that. How successful are you? Where you from? Who's your mom? Who's your dad? What's your last name, nigga? You know what I'm saying? Never who you are first. So it's not a coincidence, you know what I'm saying? Niggas would do anything, you know, to maintain some sort of identity. Everybody wants to have money. Why the fuck not? You want the nice cars? This is when Puff Daddy comes in now. You know, meet me at the at the after party. You know, all of that could be yours, babe. Let me just fuck you up the ass, daddy. Hey, daddy. You know what I'm saying? Of course, man. And all of that, you know why? You're doing that for validation. Do you see what I'm saying? But when you go inward, it's a different life. I don't need your validation. I got myself. I know it sounds cliche, but there's a whole lot that comes with that. That's something you have to wake up to. A lot of dope shit sound cliche, man. Like I got myself, I know, like, yeah, like, okay, like, yeah, but really, do you see what I'm saying? Like I always tell motherfuckers, like, if you saying you in the music industry because you have to, listen, Lowen Hill, DMX, they saw how fucked up shit was, they got themselves out. And others who find a way not to compromise themselves too much and then still being who they are, I mean, whatever the fuck. But what I'm saying is your decision will be based on who you are. That's what I'm saying. So if you're getting fucked up the ass and telling me you had to do what you had to do, I'm gonna tell you sure. Because of who you are, you had to do what you had to do. But if I'm not a hoe, like for me, there's no way I'm gonna do some hoe shit. Not because I'm better than nobody. No, I'm just not that. It's not in me. Do you see what I'm saying? Like niggas from the hood tells you what? Man, I couldn't get a job. I had to sell drugs. But you have a lot of other niggas from the hood that didn't have to sell drugs, bro. That was working at McDonald's. Do you see what I'm saying? Like niggas say, yeah, I'm from the hood. Yeah, nigga, a lot of niggas from the hood, bro. Your mom was from the hood. She was working 2 or 3 jobs, nigga. Come on, man. I mean, again, I'm not criticizing nobody. I'm trying to get you to acknowledge something greater here, man. So part of you being mentally balanced, you have to look at all these shit. So when niggas are saying, they're from the streets, where the fuck do you think, the FBI is? What do you think the White House is? It's on some streets, nigga. Those businesses, people having houses. You know what I'm saying? When Beyonce came to a town near you, playing at a fucking arena, where the fuck do you think that shit is? Is it not the street, nigga? That's not street for you? Do you somehow get on a fucking a spatial ship and fly somewhere else? It's your perspective, man. So what you're calling street, really, it's illegal activities, man. You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm saying all of that to show you it all comes down to your perspective. So you have to acknowledge this for you to be mentally balanced. Meaning you having your own freedom of thought, your free mind. You know what I'm saying? Like when a bitch tell me you had to strip to go to school, nigga, please. There's a lot of women who are working 2 jobs, retail stores. I knew bitches like myself. As a student, I used to be a waiter. There was other niggas I was waiting on tables too, man. While they were, you know what I'm saying? They weren't strippers. You know what I'm saying? The reality is, nigga, you do what you're good at. You do what you feel comfortable at. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I've been up, I've been down. In my separate life, you know what I'm saying? I work as a fucking accountant. You know what I'm saying? There's been time where I was working, I wasn't working. When I had to do what I had to do you know what I do? I even got a job that was paying me $9 an hour, bro. That's what I had to do. Definitely not asking you for fucking donations. I'm not. Anyway, I didn't mean to throw no shots at nobody. But all I'm saying is freedom of mind, bro. Free your mind. But anyway, but see, that's why this is needed. I'm going to have to do a part 2, man. The rain is coming out. But anyway, part 2 will be out tomorrow, guys. You already know I sing. Bravo. Malay.